Hello. Today I wanted to go over importing predefined data types and the add-on instructions. Add-on instructions are very useful if common code needs to be used for an application or certain hardware. In this application, we're going to be controlling heaters for an extrusion machine using Carlos Cavazzi SSRs. So we'll have up to 18 or 19 of these zones. So we'll do an example of one today. So let's get started here. So we're going to go user defined, right click, import data type. So we'll navigate to our data type here, heat zone, open, and we'll create, okay. So let's quickly go over the tags associated with this type. So we have our enable for that zone. We have our temperature set point, our actual temperature, which is feedback from a thermocouple, which we're going to simulate today, just manually changing the value. Our indicators for in range, high and low indicators as well, 3 indicators. Our controller output going to the Carlos Cavazzi to activate the heating. Our over temp limit, our low temp limit where we want to activate our heating. And we have our valid for our set point. So this can be handled just on the HMI itself, but sometimes you have a different HMI developer than you do PLC programmer, so we'll take care of it on both sides here. So next we'll import our add-on instruction. So we'll right click, import add-on instruction, select our instruction, AOI SSR controller. Press OK. We'll have two parts to this, one parameters and local tags and our actual logic. So if we look at our parameters, we have an in out of zone data of data type heat zone. And we'll look at the logic briefly. In our next video, we'll actually create this AOI and data type. So you can see we have our logic to check our valid set points, our controller output, and also our indicators. So from here, what we can do is go to our main program and we can go to add-on. We'll drag our SSR controller down. So we'll have up to 8 barrel zones. So we'll just do barrel zone 1. So we'll just call barrel zone 1. So this is the instance of this call. So every time you call this AOI, you'll have a different instance. So we need to create a new instance of AOI SSR controller. And we need the respective zone data. So what we do is create global data. We'll call that barrel zone. And that'll be of a data type of heat zone, our imported type. But we want, let's just say 20 for now, dimensions. So we'll have an array of 20 of type heat zone named barrel zone. And we'll create that. And then we can type in barrel zone and we'll just pick 1. And it's easy as that. So we'll go ahead and download and do some testing here, show you how it works. I do have a L30ER on the desk here just to test with. We'll go to run. And let's get our tags, barrel zone, and number 1. So let's start giving some set points, some values here. So temperature set point, let's just put 400 in for now. And let's see, over temp limit, let's just say 500 for testing. And low temp limit, where do we want our heat to cut on? So we'll just say 350. Long term, these should be on the HMI for the user to define within allowable limits. Okay, so you can see our set points are now valid. We are low, we're outside our range, we're not in range. Obviously our thermocouple is feedback 0, so if we go ahead and enable this zone, You can see our controller output cuts on. And let's simulate us heating up here. So we'll say 200. And let's meet our low limit set point. So now we're not out of range, we are in range. And let's keep going up here. Let's say we meet our set point. Controller output cuts off, we are still in range. So if we do meet or exceed the high limit range, we should get an indicator for that. So we say 500. We matched our over temp range, we are high. Output's off, set point's still valid. So if we wanted to monitor this logic, we would just go to the AOI, or you could come to your main routine, right click, open instruction logic. So if you're calling this 20 times, you got to be careful and to select the right instance of this call. So in our case right now, we only have one instance and one definition, of course, the definition. So if you're calling this 20 times, you'll see barrel 1 through 20 here. So we want to monitor barrel 1. And you can see where we're cross-checking our set points. And our comparator instructions telling us we're at our high limit, or at or above our high limit. Okay, yeah, that pretty much, if we wanted to add, we copy that rung, and we say we want to add 2 more barrel zones. This is where the big advantage comes in. So we're going to create 2 new instances. We'll create those instances. And we'll pass the proper zone data. So now this is going to be zone 2. This will be zone 3. And that quick, we've added 2 more zones. So that's the big advantage to the AOIs, is just having that flexibility and speed to add additional zones. If your code is the same for each zone, in our case it will be. Okay, yeah, tune into the next video. We'll go over how to create this AOI and also create this data type. Thank you.